Hi, I'm Misty from the Book Rat. Today I have a book haul for you. Now, I went a little crazy in the last couple weeks as far as book acquiring goes. So over the next probably week and a half to 2 weeks, I'm actually going to have 3 different book haul videos for you because the only way to make it work was to split them up. And even still, I probably should be splitting this into 2 videos, but I don't want to have 6 hauls for you. That's just a little excessive even for me. But today I'm going to start with my first book closeouts haul. I had a Living Social coupon for book closeouts, and I had been idly picking through their new arrivals and adding things to my cart and just waiting until I had enough that I wanted to buy. So I got 15 books in this order, and I'm going to go ahead and jump right into them and try to be fairly brief because that's a lot of books. I should mention that I didn't spend over $3 on any of these books, and most of them were under $2. The Dark and Hollow Places by Carrie Ryan. This is the final book of the Forest of Hands and Teeth trilogy. I have the first 2, I've only read the first one, but really liked it. So I had been wanting to get this one for a while. It had been hanging out on my wish list, and they had it in the Scratch and Dent. Now, normally when I buy things from the Scratch and Dent, they're really not too bad. This one does have a pretty sizable gash, though, in the cover, so I'm gonna have to tape that up, but it's at least a very straight one, so it shouldn't be too bad, but that was a little disappointing, but looking forward to it. Guardian of the Gate by Michelle Zink. I have the first book, Prophecy of the Sisters, which I bought on Allison from the Allure of Books recommendation. And even though I haven't read it yet, since this one was so cheap, I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. A Drowned Maiden's Hair by Laura Amy Schlitz. This is another one from my wish list that I added originally because the title, I love that title, but it actually does sound really interesting. It's about an orphan girl who's taken in by these sisters who are spiritualists, kind of witchy, and plan to use her in their whatever it is that they do. Sounded interesting, fun, historical, and as I said before, orphans was one of my buzzwords. Silver Phoenix by Cindy Pon. This is a fantasy, and it's been on my wish list for a while because of the reviews. It got really, really great reviews. I hated the original cover, though. I liked that you could see that the main character was Asian, but her big pink billowing sleeves looked like some giant pink bow on the back of her shoulders, and it irritated the hell out of me. Even though this one is pretty typical YA, it doesn't have a giant pink bow sprouting from her shoulders, so it's more acceptable. Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. I've never read anything by either, though I do have another David Levithan book. It's actually another co-written book, Will Grayson, Will Grayson. I am not the biggest contemporary reader, but I had a lot of people push this on me and tell me that they loved it. So, and I've had a lot of people tell me that they like Rachel Cohn and David Levithan individually. So, I figured it was worth a shot. Would Bewitch by Kimberly Frost. This one was an impulse buy. It was really, really cheap. I thought the cover was kind of cute and fun, and I popped over to Goodreads and read the reviews, and it sounded like, just a fun, kind of cheeky urban fantasy, so why not? The Old Country by Mordecai Gerstein. I'm never sure with the Steens and the Steins, though I do love the name Mordecai. I posted about this one during Fairy Tale Fortnight as something that's already out that you could pick up, and talked about how I love the cover. Just nice, kind of striking image. Very thin, middle grade. I love my fairy tales and fairy tale-esque books, so looking forward to it. Warrior Princess by Frewen Jones. Not entirely sure. I don't know that I had heard a ton of reviews on this, so I don't know whether they're, positive or negative mostly. But I like the cover and the idea of a warrior princess. And it's, historical and kind of myth-based, and why not? The Swan Maiden by Heather Tomlinson. This is another one that I posted about during Fairy Tale Fortnight, and I also had a Friday face-off of it with this and the hardback cover. I definitely like this one more, so I was glad when I found it in book closeouts for really, really cheap. I have another fairy tale retelling by Tomlinson called Toads and Diamonds, which I haven't read yet, but which I'm looking forward to. I like that she kind of tackles these lesser-known tales, so looking forward to that. Maybe next year's Fairy Tale Fortnight. Next, because they had all 3 and they were all super cheap, I went ahead and bought Glimmerglass, Shadowspell, and Siren Song, which is the Fairy Walker series by Jenna Black. Now, I know a lot of people who love these a whole lot, and I know a lot of people who think they're just kind of throwaway, but they were in new condition for, I want to say, maybe $1.50 each. So I figured there's really no reason not to go ahead and pick it up, and I'll try it. If I don't like it, it will end up being a giveaway, or I'll give it to my local youth librarian and she can give it to the teens. You know, why not go ahead and try it for all of $4.50? So I guess we'll see. Fairy books can be really hit and miss with me. I think it's rare that they are done well to my tastes anyway. But from a few of the reviews I read, it seemed like maybe Jenna Black is kind of actually going to do things to my tastes, so fingers crossed. Another fun note, because I organize my books by color, I get really familiar with the spines, and I love the polka dot spines on these. They're so cute. I mean, there are polka dots on the covers too, but that it's carried over. I like that. Damosel by Stephanie Spinner. This is a take on like the Lady of the Lake, King Arthur story, but mostly, I'm not gonna lie, I was caught by this cover and this title. I love it. So, very thin, probably gonna be a very quick read, hopefully a good one. I have no idea. I don't care because I just love the cover. Deathless by Catherine M. Valente. She wrote The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making, which I loved, and I had heard good things about this one. It's another sort of fairy tale take, a Russian fairy tale take, and I had read good mentions of it in reviews of Girl Who Circumnavigated, but frankly I don't care. That one was good enough that I would have bought it without knowing a thing about it, just because I really liked her style. And lastly, The Poison Apples by Lily Archer. This is another fairy tale retelling, contemporary I believe this time. I'm not really a fan of this cover at all. I bought it simply because it was 74 cents and fairy tales. So I will certainly give it a try and try not to hold the cover against it. So that was everything from my book Closeouts haul number 1, because there is a second one coming just after I ordered all of that, which was all YA other than maybe 1 or 2 books. The entire kids section went 50% off. I was like, really? So of course, that meant I had to go back through, see if anything new had come in, and re-buy the things that I had decided not to get the first time around because I didn't want to spend $75. So I ended up placing a second haul, which was for I think 12 books, but they were half off, so you know, I kind of had to. So anyway, that one hasn't gotten here yet, but that one will be coming. I also have a normal haul of all the things that I've gotten in between this. Books that have been sent for review. I bought a couple from Better World Books. I went to a Fierce Read signing the other night, so I'll show you all those goodies. But yeah, so lots of book hauls in this coming week or two. Until then, that's all from me. If you have thoughts on any of the books I got, or questions about them, or want to let me know what you thought, definitely leave a comment. As always, happy reading!